The Stoxradio Greatest Hits Advent Calendar.
In association with the 2017 Stoxradio Charity Calendars. Get yours now from stoxradio.co.uk.
December the 9th, and we now head across the Irish Sea to talk to one of the top Irish drivers, Ryan McCrory.
We've struggled at Ballymena, to be honest, at the moment, but last year the Irish Open we went well, so we'll just see what happens. There's not really much you can plan for. It is what it is. Just got to go out there and try your best.
And of course, with Ballymena, and of course the British Championship as well.
Yeah.
How's your form going into the championship?
We started out the year very poorly. The first 3 or 4 meetings were a bit atrocious, but the last 2 or 3 there, we've sort of got our pace back, and we're heading into this weekend feeling pretty good about our chances.
Obviously, it's a group of qualifying heats. Obviously, you want to just get yourself up the motorway, so to speak, so you're a decent position for the grid. Are you going in and making room, or do you just pick off the pieces?
It depends what way it falls. If you get away off the front of the reds or something, you can try and go under the radar and get to the front. But if you're starting at the back, you're going to have to make room, aren't you?
So, how does it feel to have a major championship on one of your local tracks?
It's good. I think we deserve it. I mean, there's been a lot of good drivers coming out of the country for a long time. To never have a major here. It was a bit cruel, but we'll see. Hopefully, if all goes well this weekend, it's run well and everything, we'll maybe get more.
Well, like I say, I mean, there is always, as we just mentioned on the show before we come to yourself, and we were talking about potentially the World Final coming across to Ireland. Is that something that would prick up your ears and say, yes, please?
Yes, I think absolutely brilliant. The only problem, I've said, there's a lot of people here have said, we deserve one. It'd be cruel to ask so many people to actually get the boat and come across, but we have done it that many times. We're maybe due one. Maybe one in every 10 comes to here, and one in the next 10 goes to Holland or something. We make a proper world championship. And then it's travelling a bit.
Because obviously, Holland have their own kind of version of the World Final, which is the World Cup, obviously, which happens at Venray.
Yeah.
You obviously you've got your own kind of. You haven't got an equivalent of that, have you? Really?
No, not really. The Irish Close tends to get people, as a very important championship here, but doesn't get the same recognition across the water because it's closed. All the guys get really into it over here because it's the points from the year made up to make the grid. Everyone gets pretty into it, but it wouldn't be as big as the Dutch World Cup and stuff.
So, looking at it then, just tell us how is the Irish Open, which is the one that obviously gets tagged onto the Irish weekend every year.
Yes.
How has that come about? Is it just the 2 heats and it's on the final, or is it a standalone race?
I think it depends on how many cars is there for it. Sometimes we get the split sort of 2/3 format, and sometimes they just run it all in and points for the final. It really depends. They change it about a wee bit.
It's interesting to see because it's nice to see that we have this week that we have over in Ireland. It used to obviously once upon a time it used to be 3 or 4 tracks. Well, it used to be 3 tracks, didn't it? It used to be Nuts, Agadowie, and yourselves, and obviously Ballymena. It's a very strong situation at the moment that you have got obviously 4 tracks over there. Obviously, it's a shame that you can only race at 2. But is that one of the sticking points at the moment over in Ireland that you can only race at the 2 tracks, or would you prefer that you're just happy with Nuts Corner and Ballymena?
Well, it's a very sort of a political situation in racing over here because there's the super stocks as well, and there wasn't a massive number of Formula 2s when they started super stocks, so that created a real split between everything. But I'm happy enough racing at Nuts Corner and Ballymena. It's enough. I wouldn't mind a run around Agadowie. I think it would be good, but Ballyroan doesn't really lend itself to compact racing, so too disappointed in missing out on that.
So, looking at this situation we have with the Irish Open at Ballymena, it's a good little order for the mainland drivers, isn't it, to come over and obviously challenge the locals, shall we say?
Yeah. No, it used to be a case of the mainland drivers came over and won, and the locals sort of played second fiddle. But the last couple of years, things have changed around. I mean, last year, I think the mainland drivers only won one heat out of all the races, which is incredible. It shows you the strength of our racing over here at the moment. We've got lots of top drivers.
I would say this now, the strength of the racing in Ireland, you only have to look at the weekend meetings that we have over here. I mean, we often see you guys down at Taunton. We also see you guys at Skeggy, your regulars, Cow and Beef. The World Final, you're always there. It's always good to see. Yeah. And you're not a token entry anymore. You really are competitive. And,
well, it's not even just our red race, our mega quick. I mean, we've got people at Blue at the minute that are capable of winning races and going across the water and winning races. We've got really good right through the grades. It's really, really good for the sport, and hopefully it drags even more people in. I mean, we're averaging as many cars over here at the minute as a lot of the mainland tracks can get. So it's really, really good. The sort of stuff we've sort of dreamed of for years.
So, how do you rate your chances for the British then?
I feel pretty good about Nuts Corner. I'm not so confident about Ballymena on Friday night. I mean, we really do struggle at Ballymena, but I'm feeling pretty good about the brace at Nuts Corner. I think we'll maybe be able to put that. We'll try our best at Ballymena. I'm not going to give up the green and white checkers like a bit of a fight, but we'll definitely be thinking about the Nuts Corner.
It's good to see that. I mean, what's your plans then for this year? Obviously, it is a case that this year's World Final is on shell. Now, is that going to pose a problem to you guys? I know you've only had really limited opportunities to get on the shell with obviously the brief sojourn of the Nuts Corner shell track that they had for a couple of seasons.
Yeah.
Is that what? How do you challenge yourself to go onto a shell track? What problems do you have?
Well, at the start of every year, I never set myself out to try and get points to qualify for the World. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. This year, I really didn't set out to get points because I wasn't really interested in doing the World Final. But the last regrading, I was in a qualifying position. So if it crops up as a problem, we'll just have to go there and do it. I mean, we done King's Lynn, so we did, and we weren't fast. We were painfully slow, but we ended up with a good result just through finishing. So, if we qualify, we'll go and do it, but we'll certainly not be thinking about going there to win. The Dutch can go and compete because they have shield racing, but we're back to being token entries when it comes to shield World Final.
I think that's the situation for the Scots and the West Country too.
Yeah,
sadly, we do have the occasional racer that goes on show. I mean, the Scots now have obviously Chris McGowan, Dennis, and obviously George that do the shell racing. I don't think I've seen Gordon on the shell for 3-4 years now. But the West Country, it's just a case of like Neil Hooper is making a concerted effort this year. But other than that, everyone's just going nonplussed. Do you think? Obviously, with regards to like rotors and stuff like that for championships, that Ireland should be given more of the bigger championships, not like the kind of lesser titles like the F2 Challenge and the Nationals, which are kind of like in the pecking order quite low down the bottom. Do you think they should be getting a dip at perhaps the European, the British more often?
Well, it depends what way. If it's all goes well this weekend, then yes. I think we have a really good case for getting the British more often. As I said, the world, it seems harsh to ask so many people to cross the water, but we've had to do it that many times. I think maybe we're maybe due a World Championship. That would be a good thing. I mean, we've never had one. We've had a couple of World Champions, but we've never had the race here. So it'll be really good to see. I mean, the Europeans seem to have sort of found its home at Northampton. It doesn't seem to be racing, so we're not getting that anytime soon. But certainly, if we can get the British, every few years, it'll be good.
It's one of the rumours that we mentioned this at least once an episode. Is the 2017 World Final. Now, when it was initially muted that it would be an away day World Final for Autospeed, there were several venues mentioned, and Ireland was one of them.
Yeah. Well, I know it was Crispin probably that was one of the main pushes in us getting this British. He's always been very supportive of us getting, championships. So, yeah, if it's an auto speed away meeting and it's run well this weekend, not going to be a brilliant track for a World Championship. It's a proper stock car track, so it'll be great to see it. And if it happens, it'd be fantastic.
I'd have to cross the water. No, can't do that. I do that. Said I go across the water every time I leave the country. Every time I go to Taunton, across the Tamar. So into England, so to speak, from Cornwall. There we go. But what I will say to you though is that who, if not you, is going to win the British then?
My brother, Dean's going to win it. I think he genuinely has a chance too, but he's being a new car this weekend, so he is. So we'll see. He's slipped down to blue there. He's likely to get some good heats in there. There's no reason why he can't win it. We've got a lot of good drivers. It's hard to pick one, like it really is anybody's race.
It is looking wide open. I will say this now because obviously you have got the usual suspects coming across the water, the likes of I'm led to believe the likes of Kelvin Marshall, those kind of people are coming over, which are always going to be in with a shake-up with it all. I would be very surprised, and I'd be very surprised if we do not see at least one mainland driver in the top three, if not win it. But I will say this now, there will be the likes of yourself, Chris Kincaid, the Fagan brothers. They're all very capable of doing it. I mean, don't forget, Graham was, only a brake caliper away from winning the world title last year.
Yeah. No, I think we genuinely have probably 6 or 8 or maybe 10 cars that are capable of winning it. The problem is there'll be as many mainland cars coming across as it's one of the most wide races that I can it literally could be anyone's race.
All depends on the day. Like I say, who Lady Luck shines on us. We were talking to Steve Gilbert earlier on, who was literally a car spun in front of him. He looked like he was absolutely fastest car on the track. Looked like he was absolutely dialed on for the title. Car spun in front of him, and that was it. Game over. Otherwise, it would have been. I don't think Adam Ruby would have won that British at Taunton last year. You're looking at.
No.
So, is there any rivalries that we've got to be wary of from you guys at the moment? Is there anyone who are kind of like having a little feud between the Irish drivers at the moment?
Between our guys, everyone's having a feud every week. It's every single week. There's somebody's going to wreck someone. It's the way it is over here because we race with the same people week in, week out. When you're racing in England, traveling about a bit, and you're racing with different people. But because it's the same people week in, week out, everything's very personal, and there's always people who are going to wreck people. It's just the way it is. You got to watch Graham Fagan loves to make things dramatic, you know what I mean? So if he hasn't got a feud going, he'll start one. He just loves that. There's a few different ones. Everybody's that competitive with each other. You've no idea who's going to feud next. So you could just be looking at everybody for a feud, really.
Excellent stuff. Right, well, Ryan, very best of luck in the big race on Sunday, and hopefully, the best of luck on Friday defending your title. It'd be good to see you over the mainland. Any plans to come over the mainland this year?
We wanted to do Taunton next weekend for the band fun, but it hasn't worked out. Dean has exams in school on the Monday morning, so we can't make it. So the next trips we're doing. I know it's ridiculous, isn't it? So we're doing Skegness and Northampton at the start of July, and then we're hoping to do Hemsford at the start of August as well. So we'll just see how it goes.
Well, it'd be great to catch up with you at some point this year, and it'd be good to share a bevy or two with you. So.
Merry Christmas.